name's Dawn H. Jones. I'm Managing Director of Hope Place HR, and our mission is to get you the HR skills you need. This week's topic is called Considering a Flexible Working Application, 10 Things that you need to do. But before we get into the topic, I want to ask you a favour. Would you take a second and press the subscribe button below this video to receive regular quality HR content? And thanks in advance for doing that. We appreciate it. So let's dive into today's topic, submitting a flexible working application, 10 things to consider. And by the way, don't worry about capturing all of these points. I've compiled a checklist for you and I'll tell you how to access that checklist at the end of this video. Now, a manager needs to be aware that employees who have 26 weeks of service, continuous service, have the legal right to request flexible working once in 12 months. Now, as a manager, you need to read and follow your organisation's flexible working policy. And something that can also help, read ACAS Code of Practice on handling flexible working requests reasonably. And we'll be drawing on good practice points from the code in this video. You also need to be paying attention to timescales. So applications from the receipt of the flexible working request to appeal must be concluded within 3 months, and this is a legal requirement. Some organisations' policies have templates to request flexible working, but in any event, the application should include the date of request, the changes the employee is seeking, and what impact, if any, the proposed changes would have on service delivery and or the business impact, and whether they have made a flexible working request previously. Once the manager receives the request, they should arrange to meet with the employee within the policy timescale, and certainly as soon as possible. And if the proposal is agreed on, a meeting may not be required. However, it's prudent to discuss how the flexible working arrangements will work in practice and agree on a date to review the new agreements and wrap all of this up in a letter to the employee. Now, if a meeting is required, employees have the right to be accompanied by a work colleague or trade union rep, and they need advance notice of the meeting. At the meeting itself, discuss the employee's request and ascertain how the proposal will benefit the employee. This is also an opportunity to discuss any modifications to the original request. For example, you may say, I can't agree to you working 8 to 4 every day of the week. However, the service can accommodate you working 8 to 4 days of the week. Now, consider the application thoroughly and fairly. And if an application is rejected, it must be for one of the legal business reasons, namely the burden of additional cost, an inability to reorganise work amongst your existing staff, an inability to recruit additional staff, or it may be that there's a detrimental impact on the quality, or a detrimental impact on performance. And there's some more. Other reasons include a detrimental effect on the ability to meet customer demand and insufficient work for the periods the employee proposes to work. Or there may be a planned structural change to your business. Now, the manager who's considering the application must provide written reasons to the employee. Lastly, an employee has the right to appeal the decision, and the manager who considered the request should provide details of how to appeal within the letter that they send to the employee. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've compiled a checklist download. Click on the link in the description box. These are the 10 points to consider when agreeing or rejecting a flexible working application. Consider every application carefully. Thanks for listening, and do remember, be HR wise. See you next week. Bye-bye.